Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we're taking another version of the Roger Pirates and the Pirate King himself, Goldie Roger, into another forest. And today we're taking on the Gang Forest, so we're taking on Bege. Now, Bege's forest, like I said, it's not as hard as like the Big Mum Forest, the Kid Forest, or the Hawkins Forest, but for the newer players out there that are still looking to get this done, Roger just claps this kind of content. So our leader is the man himself, Roger. Now we are getting his super typing because we literally have like all of these units on our team. As you guys know, his special is absolutely amazing, up to a 3x attack boost. He does 1,000,000 damage to all enemies, which is very, very handy for forests. And his captain ability is up to a 5x captain that completely removes despair, which is just insane. The nullifying remove effects in this particular forest actually backfires on us, but it really doesn't matter. The next unit we have on the team is Shank's Crew. Shank's Crew is here purely for their switch ability. The 1.5x attack boost every single turn is insane. Plus, getting matching orbs is very, very handy as well. Unfortunately, we can't use their chain lock, but now that I'm actually thinking about it after I've done the run, you could probably have used his chain lock to move into that stage. So that way you don't get the 99 turns of chain lock, and that would have meant more damage at the end. But, oh well, it's done now. So when that comes up, I might put like a little like note over the top. But the switch ability is the main reason why this guy's here. We don't actually have Roger's special at the end, so his 1.5x attack boost is actually really, really handy. The next unit we have is the Dark King. Oh my god, the Dark King. Rayleigh, Rare Recruit Rayleigh. Absolutely exceptional unit. Removes 3 turns of Threshold. That's a big reason why he's here, and he also will give us 2x color affinity on the final stage as well. He's really, really good. Excellent unit. Terrific Rare Recruit. Probably the best of the batch, to be honest. The next unit we have is Kazuki Odin. Kazuki Odin is a phenomenal sub, especially on Roger teams. Purely because of Roger's super typing to give us a full board of orbs. Kazuki Odin can turn them into 1-0 orbs, and then utilizing Roger's special, we can get a 3-turn orb boost. So he's an absolute monster. We literally only use his special once. You could definitely use it more throughout the run, but we are only going to use it once. He does have a crazy sailor ability where if a free spirit or slasher uses a special, he actually gets cooldown. So you could definitely use his special more than once throughout this run, but I ended up saving it to the second last stage just so we could blitz our way through the last 2 stages. Finally, we have Crocus. Crocus is essential on this team as he reduces damage by 90%. On stage 18, we come up against Luffy. Luffy has a death hit mechanic, so you do need that 90% damage reduction. As for the supports, literally all these supports are just stat boosters. Edward Weevil's not necessary, you can replace him with whatever. And the shit we're using is the Liberal Hind. Now the Liberal Hind is probably the best option here, as on the final stage Caesar is going to roll back our specials by 1 turn, so you do want to try and have the Liberal Hind ready just so you can get Rayleigh's special, and that way you can have the 2x color affinity. So that's the team. Let's hop into the run. Let's take on Bege. Here we are against Pudding. So on stage 11, we come up against Pudding and a whole bunch of lackeys. Pudding's basically just going to give us a full board of unmatching orbs. And she is on a 2-turn cooldown, which is really, really handy for us, as basically we just want to take out the enemies around the outside, and then we can use the second turn to take out Pudding. Pudding doesn't do too much. His team has like tons of damage, so we can just sort of make our way through Pudding's HP pool on the second turn. Make sure you are attacking with Roger as much as possible. You do want to get his 3 million cumulatively. I still can't say it. The cumulative... I'm not even going to try anymore. The 3 million damage. If you get 3 million damage with Roger, he does a higher attack booster. You guys know how Roger works by now, because it took me a little while, but, you know, it is what it is. You just want to get him up to around 3 million throughout the entire run. So once you hit that, you're good as gold. On the next stage, we come up against... Oh, we came up against Jinbei the turn before that, and we just clapped him. On the next stage, we come up against Sanji and Pudding, the power couple. They give us a full board of block or T&D orbs, and it fell really badly for us. But what we can do here is we just want to basically take out Sanji. If we don't kill Sanji, he is going to blow away 2 of our units, our bottom 2. And then Pudding on the second turn is actually going to bind our middle row for 5 turns, which goes down to 3 turns with sockets. So what we're going to do here is we're going to utilize our Shank's Crew switch ability for a 1.5x attack boost, and then use their special to get a 3.5x chain lock. And then on the second turn, we're going to keep that chain lock, and we can actually use that to take out Pudding and move on to the next stage. On stage 14, we come up against Bege. Now, Bege is going to summon a whole bunch of these like mobsters, and he puts up 3 turns of Threshold Cut. It's very, very annoying, as he's going to resummon all of those like lackeys every single turn. But with the Rayleigh special, we can remove the threshold and we can take out a few of those guys around the outside. Now the idea here is actually to kill Bege so he doesn't resummon them. So hopefully you guys get lucky with what characters have like low HP, but basically just focus on one of the guys around the outside that has a 1-turn cooldown, and then use all the rest of your attacks to take out Bege. You do want to take out Bege, otherwise he's just going to resummon a whole bunch of lackeys, and then on the second turn he will attack you too. The guys around the outside, they don't do too much damage, so if you keep like 1 or 2 of them alive, it's not the end of the world. On the second turn, just finish them off and move on to stage 15. On stage 15, we come up against Choboro and Carrot. They do a little bit of a HP cut and give us a full board of Dex Orbs. So what we're actually going to do here is use this switch ability of our Shanks crew to give us an attack buff, and then we can use the super typing of one of our Rogers. Utilizing the switch ability of one of our Rogers is going to give us a full board of Orbs, and that way we can actually do heaps more damage against Choboro. This team is predominantly Psy, so utilizing the super typing of Roger is going to help us out quite a bit whenever we come up against a int unit. On the next stage now, we come up against Brook and Pedro. Brook gives us 99 turns of chain lock, which sort of like rules out Shanks crew special for the rest of the run, but he will remove that if we kill Pedro and not Brook. Unfortunately though, I just used Roger's super typing. I did not mean to do that. Why does that keep happening? Roger! Alright, we're back, and I forgot where I was at. So basically, on this stage, Brook is going to give us 99 turns of a chain lock, and Pedro is going to have a 5-turn perfect hit barrier where you lock to him. If you kill Pedro, but keep Brook alive, he normally will wipe that chain lock and he heals you. So we do want to try and keep him alive, even though Roger's interrupt is going to kick in. So just remember that Odin does have barrier pen. So just be careful when you hit the perfect on Odin here, or hit like a great. So then you can finish off Pedro with the perfect on Roger. Brook does around 6k, so make sure you have that much HP. But as I mentioned, on that next turn, he is going to give us a heal and then do an interrupt. But Roger's actually going to come in and say, sorry, you're not wiping our buffs, boy. Even though it is a negative buff, technically. So we are going to be stuck with that chain lock, unfortunately. But it's not the end of the world, to be honest. This team has just ridiculous amounts of damage that we can actually carry that 1.1 chain lock throughout the rest of the fight, and we are hunky-dory. On the next stage, we come up against Baron Tamago and Peckham's. Baron Tamago is an int unit, which means we are going to just absolutely eat him up. So use the switch ability of Shanks crew as always to get that 1.5 times chain attack boost, and then just use the rest of your units to attack Peckham's. Peckham's is on a 2-turn cooldown, so like he's not really hard to take out, to be honest. Just use the switch ability of Shanks crew as you guys saw. On stage 18, we come up against Nami and Luffy. Luffy has a giant death hit mechanic. They blind your recovery for like 20 turns, and it's very, very annoying. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, it's very, very annoying. But this is why we actually brought Crocus on this particular version of the Roger Pirates, so we can use Crocus' special. We can't get the healing, but we can get the 90% damage reduction. Then we can use our friend Roger special. That way we can get a crazy attack boost, switch with our Shanks crew, and basically just blitz our way through this particular stage. What we're going to do is utilize the barrier pen mechanic of Odin, and then take out Luffy, hitting the grate and finishing him off that way. That million damage that Roger does through barriers and everything is just so damn good, and you're about to see how good it is right now. On to the next stage, we come up against Judge and his kids. What we're actually going to do here is we're going to use the super typing of our Roger. That way we can give ourselves a full board of orbs and we can lock those orbs. We can then use our Kazuki Odin special to give ourselves a 2.5 times orb boost to our slashes and free spirits, which the whole team actually is. Then we can use our Roger special. Roger's actually going to extend that orb buff. He's going to give us a 3 times attack boost, and he's just going to kill all of Judge's kids. Like, just going to murder them, because he goes rar. Look at him, rar. Get him, Roger. Get him, Rog. Oh, I love that special. It looks so damn good. Boom. I love how goofy that island looks too. It looks so good. But with that, we keep the Wano orbs, we carry them into the next stage, and we can basically just clap Judge here. Easy peasy. Now, when we move into the next stage, we are going to get our specials reversed by Caesar. We come up against Caesar, Luffy, and Bege, and Bege is actually going to turn into a Dex unit. We get a full board of block orbs, which really doesn't matter to us, but all of our specials get rewinded. Ideally, you could use the Rayleigh special on the last turn, but like you don't really need it. What we want to do here is use the switch ability of our Shanks crew. That way we can get an attack boost, and then we can basically just attack with normal attacks, and we should be able to take most of them out. We do have color affinity with our... We'll use the Liberal Hind, why not? With our... Oh, the Liberal Hind actually gives us a cooldown. So what we're actually going to do here is now use the Rayleigh special. Gotta love that Liberal Hind ship. So now we have 2 times color affinity too. Beautiful. So. We can attack with Odin second. That way just like... what's his name? Caesar's just going to melt. Oh, I missed my perfect. That way we can kill Luffy. And then the second turn, we can hit Bege. We get a full board of Psy Orbs because of that Judge ability. That's pretty funky. Use the switch ability of Shanks crew to get another attack boost, and then we can just use normal attacks to take out Bege here. Hit with Odin last, obviously. You should just have enough damage to take out Bege. So there you guys go. That was the Roger team, the Roger Pirates 2.0 taking on the Bege Forest. So obviously the Bege Forest not as hard as the Big Mom Forest or the Hawkins or the Kid Forest, but for all those new players out there that did summon for Roger, did manage to pick up his new badge, did manage to pick up Odin, and possibly picked up Shanks crew along the way, there's a team for you guys to take out the Forest of Training fairly easily and fairly comfortably. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to stay up to date with more OPTC content I post, hit that big red subscribe button too. But guys, most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Lights!